El Liga tuvo como ganador Frida. La segunda semifinal, celebrada en la sala E2, que enfrentó a Mecano y a CICAE, tuvo como ganador Mecano. Enhorabuena a los dos equipos, ya comienza la final, les invitamos a subir al escenario.
Okay, so welcome to the second pre-university today tournament of the fourth league of the CICAE Universidad Campus. The judges who will accompany us in this debate is Guillermo Serrano as the main chair. Guillermo Serrano is a trainer at the Universidad Autónoma de Madrid and the CMU Elías Lauta, as well as a professor of argumentation and oratory in a master's degree in public health at the National Institute of Health. And as a debater, he's the runner-up in the world in CMUDE 2016 and has won several tournaments at the national level. At the individual level, he was selected as the third best speaker in the world in CMUDE 2018. The next one, María Chungela Sánchez, student studies international relations and global communication at the Universidad Pontificia de Comillas, where she's a part of the debate club since 2018. She has judged and debated at several tournaments and classified in several of them. Rebecca Ortiz Mendieta, student of law and international relations and a master in integral leadership program. She has braked in plenty of tournaments such as BP, Universidad Rica Juan Carlos and Universidad Carlos III de Madrid, as well as in MVN simulations. Carlota Desso is a student of the degree in engineering and telecommunication technologies in the Universidad Politécnica de Madrid. She has won numerous tournaments, including the 13th Universidad Católica Victoria Debating Tournament, the second Barcelona Open, and the 2019 CEO Tournament among them. She was also the team coach of the first Spanish team participating in the World Today's School Championship. And the last one, Pedro Cuevas, is a student of the dual degree program in engineering in telecommunication technologies and business analytics in CICAE, Comillas Pontificia University. His most prominent achievements are being the Nobel champion of the 3 summer DPs, champion of the 2019 record debating tournament, and champion of the first PNG tournament. Being the best speaker of the later, furthermore, he recently break as an adjudicator of the VBT Universidad de Juan Carlos tournament. Right. Remind now the question, is globalization beneficial to global culture and knowledge? Also remind that it will suppose a warning that the positive or negative mismatch of between 8 and 15 seconds with respect to the established time of each intervention. Seconds for timing are 1 minute with 1 finger, 30 seconds with a fist, and 10 seconds will be counted them by myself. Alright, so now that I wrap up, we're again Thank you very much.
Read us again.
Today's world isn't the same as 10 years ago. Humans from all around the world are as interconnected as ever. Globalization has led to many cultural and scientific breakthroughs that help humanity as a whole communicate and share ideas. Good morning, everyone. My name is Alkan, and with my team, we will answer the question, is globalization beneficial to global culture and knowledge with firm and outright yes. Our thesis defends that Due to globalization, the world has experienced many cultural advantages and how it has brought new knowledge to the world. This will be proved by three solid arguments during this debate. First, I would like to clear up some concepts. According to the Cambridge English Dictionary, globalization is a process by which particular goods and services or social and cultural influences gradually become similar in all parts of the world, and culture is the way of life, especially the general customs and beliefs of a particular group of people at a particular time. I'll start by explaining our first argument, the universal language. In this argument, we'll defend that thanks to globalization, people all over the world have gathered into linguas francas, easing the communication between people and whole culture. For example, English is a language that has crossed borders. Just imagine if a Spaniard went to Italy. Probably the language used would be English. This facilitates communication between people and cultures. Therefore, having linguas francas facilitates communication, which is beneficial for global culture and knowledge because it makes it easier to share and contrast ideas between different countries and cultures. In the second argument, academic knowledge, we find that thanks to globalization, people from all over the globe now have the opportunity to access academic resources that they would not have in their original countries. This comes thanks to the great mobility of people worldwide, meaning that the great minds of this world now have granted the opportunity to access the resources needed, such as university, technology, and research funds, in order to exploit their intellectual capacities. So, we can observe that the knowledge acquisition nowadays is faster than ever in history, and that is partially caused by those great minds of all over the world that, thanks to globalization, have formed international academic communities instead of small investigation groups as it was done before globalization. Our third and last argument, the political knowledge one, we defend that, thanks to globalization, the search of freedoms and rights in countries that have been traditionally more authoritarian has been powered and triggered by globalization. This is beneficial to global knowledge because gradually more and more people in the world are becoming aware of how people in other countries are getting their freedoms and rights. Now, there are a vast amount of examples we will be showing throughout the debate. For example, the civil rights movement, which started in the United States, has reached Europe and most of the world. This movement reached people from all around the globe very fast, and they became aware of racism and therefore joined the movement against it. Before globalization, this type of movements would take centuries to reach the other part of the globe. Now, having globalization, this takes minutes, hours, days. In question of days, we now, in the other side of the globe, know what is happening in the opposite side, and we know that we have to do something. And we learn from those countries who have more freedoms and rights to become a more free and a more free world. So, in conclusion, thanks to globalization, important movements reach the other side of the globe in matter of weeks, if not shorter. And because of our three arguments, universal languages, where we say that thanks to globalization, the unification of languages has eased communication between people and cultures, academic knowledge, in which we defend that globalization has granted access of resources to those great minds that did not have the luck of being born in the right place, bringing huge academic improvements to society, and political knowledge, which explains how the search of freedoms, rights, and democratic values have been eased by globalization. My team and I defend that globalization has been positive for culture and knowledge. Thank you very much.
magic books. And these are the problems caused by globalization. These magic books make all the problems caused by globalization disappear. Or does it? Good morning, my name is Marta Jimenez from Team Fridas, and along with my colleagues Ana Pedro de Santa Maria and Torrelodones, we will firmly defend that globalization is not beneficial to global culture and knowledge. I'll start by defending the debate's question. Globalization is, in general sense, increasing worldwide integration of cultures cultural, religious, information, political, and social systems. Not beneficial, meaning that it is not having a good effect, since it produces a loss of culture and knowledge. Culture makes up the essence of a country, and even though a culture is dynamic, there are certain aspects of it that are static. For example, the oral and Chinese culture. And if they are changed, we lose the essence of the culture. Knowledge means the level of scientific and technological development. We believe in two main arguments: cultural imperialism of the West and misuse and manipulation of information. Let's start with our first argument, cultural imperialism of the West, based on two reasons. Our first reason is homogenization. The loss of cuisine, fashion, and language means the loss of important aspects of a culture. These usually coming from minorities. Fast food chains are taking over, and big brands are creating new black-made groups, making everyone become close of each other. Why is this bad? Because the lack of differences and different points of view leads us to a world with no progress. And our second reason is cultural appropriation, based on stereotypes. Globalization creates fake stereotypes to cultural appropriation, as explained in Marx's theory of hegemony that my colleagues will further prove. It also difficults integration and widens the knowledge gap between developed and developing countries, making developed countries become even more powerful than the underdeveloped. Another reason that makes us believe that globalization is not beneficial, seeing as a stereotype destroys the essence of a country, transforming it into something completely different. And our second reason is misuse and manipulation of information, based on two reasons. Our first reason is control of knowledge through media. Social media makes fake news spread faster than the truth, making critical thinking useless, seeing as most of the information is fake. Why do fake news have a larger impact than true information? Because while true information uses data and scientific reasoning to explain true information, fake news tries to appeal to our opinion and ideals, hitting much closer to home than true information, which is what people often ignore the truth and opt for the fake. It affects politics, health, and society, as my colleagues will further explain. Therefore, globalization isn't beneficial, since it's beautiful knowledge as it diminishes our ability to think objectively and contaminate knowledge all around the world. And our second reason is lack of education. Globalization makes small cultures disappear faster and reduce diversity due to the lack of awareness, seeing as it makes one culture more important than the rest. Programs such as CICAE promote a loss of knowledge because they focus on global history. And why is this negative? Because if we globalize history, we lose information and with this, knowledge and culture. So, with these two main arguments, cultural imperialism of the West and misuse and manipulation of information, my colleagues and I confirmly defend that globalization is not beneficial to global culture and knowledge. Thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Arif Khan. I'm going to proceed to the first verification of this debate for the team which is totally in favor of the question in this debate, because we believe that globalization has been positive for culture and knowledge. First of all, I will go through the first argument of the opposite team, which is Western culture imperialism, which they explain that nowadays in the whole globe, the only culture that is, let's say, the biggest one, the most important one, is the Western culture. However, this is just not true. You just have to go to the opposite corner of the street and see a Chinese restaurant. To the other one, you will see a Japanese restaurant. To the other one, you will see a Thai restaurant. And just imagine the many cultures that are just integrated in one place. That's just not true. It is just untrue that Western culture is the only one in the world. Now, moreover, I will go directly through our arguments and I will refute their same argument with one of our arguments. So, starting with our first argument, which is universal language, we believe that contrary to the common opinion that language lingua francas are applied to other languages spoken around the world, we state that the existence of universal language as one of the main characteristics of globalization is beneficial for global culture and knowledge. It is true that when a language is not spoken by nationals, it tends to be modified and nuances are not received. However, this is not a real problem since universal languages help people understand each other, allowing us to move in the same direction by engaging and sharing art and science, for example. So we can observe in this graph by the General Assembly of the United Nations that the number of non-native speakers of English, Spanish, and Chinese has almost doubled in the last decades. So, thanks to this widespread of language, the world is becoming an increasingly unified place where communication between not only persons but also entire cultures has been facilitated. So not only has globalization spread customs, traditional food, and people, it has also spread movements looking for this is not our argument. So, therefore, we may conclude in this argument that the fact that the world is becoming more and more language unified is being beneficial for the spread of all types of information, obviously including culture and knowledge. So, now that is our second argument, which is political knowledge. So, we believe that thanks to globalization, the search of freedoms and rights has been eased in countries that have been traditionally more authoritarian. Thanks to the international people of all over the world, people have been able to look at other countries and see what aspects of life have been improved compared to their country and what political values these other countries have. These help countries where traditionally there have been social groups have been systematically oppressed become conscious about the situation and be forced to support movements that were originally born in the other side of the globe. Feminism is an example of this argument. While feminist movements were originally born in more liberal countries such as the United States, Great Britain, and France, nowadays they have reached other countries in the world such as China that even having one of the most protectionist political situations government that import foreign countries has still received the influence of this movement as seen in this picture. Now, another great example is the LGBT rights movement that had. So, during the last years, we have seen more and more rainbow flags waving those hostile territories where there are still laws that ban homosexuality. Summing up, not only has globalization spread customs, traditional code, and people, it has also spread movements looking for rights, equality, and freedom that's making more from countries all over the globe and increasingly pretty poor. So, now our last argument, which is academic knowledge. We believe that globalization has eased the movement of intellectual capital and the maximization of output from its exploitation. Over the last decades, the movement of people from one country to another has increased drastically. This movement has often appeared from people seeking opportunities that their native country could not grant. In the academic field, has been a clear example. So here's the record of all Nobel Prize winners of economics and social studies of history. So, in the last 10 years, 1 out of 3 Nobel laureates are people studying in foreign countries that would not have had the chance to access all those resources in their native country. 20 years ago, it was only 1 out of 4, and 40 years ago, it was only 1 out of 8. So, linking back to the question, globalization has eased the exploitation of intellectual capacities of people thanks to the accessibility of academic resources of all over the world. Thanks to this, there has been a great increase in the pace at which we are gathering new academic global knowledge. Therefore, we may conclude that globalization has been beneficial for academic knowledge. So, in conclusion, for our 3 arguments, which are first of all, universal languages, in which we explain that having universal languages allows us people from all over the world to communicate and share ideas. Our second argument, academic knowledge, in which we explain that thanks to globalization, people from all over the world with talent have had access to resources that they wouldn't have in their countries. And lastly, political knowledge, in which we explain that movements for rights have been powered thanks to globalization. We believe that globalization has been indeed positive for culture and knowledge. Thank you very much.
I'm Fabio Lopez from Frida's team, and the factual the following today will be very simple. First, our budget person team arguments, and then I'll specifically swap our own argument deadline. The opposing team brought us 3 arguments. I'll start talking about the third one, the political knowledge, the spread of liberal ideas and movements. Well, first, we found no explanation about the correlation between these democratic ideals and movement being promoted by globalization. We said 2 things happening at the same time does not necessarily mean the first one happens because of the second one. Even if we consider the spread of, let's say, these democratic ideals thanks to globalization, what has actually been the impact? First, as stated by Eva Moore, for international relations students company, it says that the Arab League has only 6 out of 20 member states experience actual upheaval. Thus, there's not really clear any dominant effect. And secondly, the city-state of Singapore, really one of the most globalized cities, it has been semi-authoritarian for the last 30 years. And the second point is movements. We don't believe it's just because of globalization. There's no correlation. The fight for these movements has been going way before globalization. Even if there was this set correlation, we would just be viewing these rights from the Western point of view, and we would be imposing our culture over others. For example, the social movement to get rid of the hijab, one of the bases it goes against women's rights, but is really a hijab bad, or is just a part of the culture? Which leads us to our first argument, the cultural imperialism of the West, which in turn is based in 2 main reasons. The first one being homogenization. Cities and their inhabitants are becoming clones of each other. Personal service runs traditional for advanced fast food chains. And everyone looks, eats, and sounds the same. And see it in historically Gallagher for the University of Madrid, where it shows cities with higher rate of globalization has lower rate of diversity. Why is this loss of identity important? We'll look at it with the following example. Our economies use people with different ethnicities, culture, and nationalities because these people have different points of view and ways of thinking, and they will find different ways to find solutions. Which means that if globalization is making all have the same education, the same language, and the same way of thinking, then we lose this diversity, which means that progression indeed would stop. And even if we don't regress itself, the fact that we don't advance is in itself negative. Another important aspect of homogenization is that we are translating everything into one single language. Writing is a recent development in our history. Written systems currently exist for only about 1/3 of the world's language, as stated by UNESCO. So language itself is often the only way to convey a community's history. If these minority languages suddenly die out because each having a important language dies every 14 days, then we are losing stories, poems, songs. In the end, we are losing knowledge, not gaining it. You might think that the language dying isn't caused by globalization, but it is. Because globalization is making some languages like English more important than others, as stated in the Agreement for the Celebrado State University, and languages like that, part of our national heritage, are dying out, as shown in the year list of languages from the Guardian. Losing a language doesn't just mean losing knowledge, it also means losing a part of our culture, which leads us to our second reason, cultural adaptation. We absorb some part of different parts of different cultures and modify and control the will, turning them into stereotypes. Why? Well, we are supposed to better understand these cultures when in reality we're gaining incorrect knowledge. As explained in Marxist theory of money, there's a constant fight between dominant and dominated. If we, as dominant cultures, just take whatever we think we understand, which in the end is simplistic and incorrect. I'll give you an example, Africa. What pops into your head for the whole continent? Dirty, poor, unhealthy, dangerous. This is because this is what the stereotypes portray them to be, not what they are. This, in the end, this means that globalization is actually doing the opposite of integration. Why is this bad? Well, it's bad for one simple reason. It widens the gap. Globalization only benefits those in power, destroying the balance. It means that those who are poor developing countries stay the same, while the rich developed countries get more powerful and more rich. So in the end, it boils down that globalization is just a one-sided, one-direction process. Thank you very much.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Celebrado, and I will be doing the circular rebuttal of this debate. So, I would like to first start with their arguments. There is two very interesting arguments. The first one being culture, imperialism, and the second one information manipulation. So they made three main ideas for the first one, which were homogenization, creative stereotypes, and how Western imperialism is forcing itself in this global culture. So first, let's start with the first one. Homogenization. Well, they argue that we are losing ideas and languages and culture due to this spread of this, culture of imperialism somehow. But I would like to argue against that because we believe that smaller cultures are not disappearing and actually they're being taken to other places.
Here we have an example of a subculture of Mexico taken to the Japanese.
And if you're not very familiar with this, may I explain that this is an example of how some culture that is very small and maybe not very relevant for everyone, but actually not disappearing as people think, is taken to another place such as Japan. And also, this is breaking stereotypes actually, and it's going against the second point they're making, that they say it creates stereotypes. Well, let me explain that this actually is part of the social identity theory, let's say, culture. And it's that stereotypes are needed for us to have some kind of to form our own identities, to be able to contrast information, to compare, to know more about other people around the world, to be knowledgeable about what is good, what is bad, to be critic. And that is a very beneficial point, actually, and not that as bad as they make it seem. And they also brought up how Western imperialism is imposing itself, which I believe is a non-existent phenomenon. As we have already, as I would like to give you an example, and this research report I have right now in my hands, it states that the sovereign wealth funds from Asia and the Middle East that have displaced American man. This is a challenge that the Asian filmmakers and Latin TV producers have mounted against Hollywood leadership in the global entertainment. These are simple examples of how there's no this Western imperialism as they think, and this is a non-existent phenomenon. And this is why we believe that this cultural imperialism argument doesn't really stand and fall on its own weight. So let's go to the second argument, which is information manipulation. Well, I believe the real information manipulation that's done here is them with this argument. As the main reason and thesis for this argument was that the gap between poor countries and wealthy countries increases. But however, in this research report, I have this evidence
that says that economists Penelope Goldberg and Nina Patrick recently examined the connection, and they found no evidence between the increase of gap between different countries and globalization. It is highlighted in So because their main reason and thesis of the second argument also was incorrect and founded over not stable foundations, we also think that this is not really hasn't real veracity. So it falls also on its own feet. And because of these arguments that do not really seem that as bad, I would like to show you how globalization is actually beneficial to global culture and knowledge. And that's why we brought you three arguments, which are universal language, political knowledge, and academic knowledge.
So universal language, they were saying that English is becoming the most important language and the written documents are being lost, which is definitely not true, because the Bible is one of the most translated documents, and originally it wasn't in English. It was translated to other languages thanks to this global concern of how important these documents are, and also the Rosetta written in a dead language is also being translated thanks to this consciousness. And where does this consciousness come? It comes from the consciousness comparing of information and the communication instead of just talking. Instead of just talking, the difference between communication and talking is that thanks to communication, we are transmitting a meaning. We are sending a message. We are making the knowledge more benefited. And with this being said, we believe that the universal language shows how this argument and this globalization is beneficial. As a political knowledge, mathematical knowledge, they explain at the same time. And it's that both of these knowledges are creating, both of these arguments show that how globalization is making knowledge more beneficial because giving knowledge the power to protect us, to give us a different perspective of the situation, to compare and contrast as I said before, to communicate, and to gain more ideas. Thank you very much.
Why? Because it's not getting everywhere. This knowledge is staying in developed countries, while developing countries are not getting access to this information. So developed countries keep growing, while developing countries keep staying as they are. So this widens a gap of inequality, which is again not beneficial. Then the second point was about how there is a universal language that spreads this knowledge. As I have already talked about, this knowledge is not beneficial because of fake news. And even if it was, and this universal language was positive, it still having a very bad impact because of the cost that we're using in languages of minorities. And we have to do a balance between the knowledge we gain and the languages we're using. And we are using many languages, as my colleague already explained. And these are very important because a language is what states a community. A language is the way of transmitting stories and history. And therefore, a language is the main issue we should be debating about.
Do you believe that the impact of fake news is actually bigger than the impact of, for example, scientific academic knowledge gathered by globalization?
Thank you for your question. Yes, I do believe that fake news have much more impact than real news. And you also talked about how there is scientific development, and I will further explain about this. I'd just like to reconstruct our argument of homogenization. The opposing team said that cultures are not being taken, are being taken, and therefore are not disappearing. However, this is not true for two reasons. First of all, because yes, the West has taken part of other cultures, but the part they are taking are just stereotypes. Therefore, it's not the real information of the culture. So these cultures are still disappearing because we don't actually know about them. And second of all, even if we did know about these cultures, the fact that we're taking part of them doesn't mean that they won't disappear. They can still keep disappearing. Now let's come back to our second argument, which is misuse and manipulation of information. We have based our second point on two key points, the control of knowledge through the media and the lack of education. Because media is the root of globalization, and it is given a chance for people to say whatever they want, whenever they want, without actually having to prove what they're saying. And yes, fake news have much more harm impact than real news, because as we can see in this graph right here, fake news stay for a longer period of time and also spread much faster. For example, even politicians will falsify evidence to make their campaigns seem more appealing, as it happened in the Hillary versus Trump election. And this has had a very important global impact, seeing as everyone is now depending on other countries. Sorry about that. So we can clearly see that because of globalization, the spread of false knowledge has grown, which is decreasing our ability to think objectively and contaminating knowledge all around the world. The second important point inside this argument has to do with education, or better said, the lack of it. Why? Because as far as we're concerned, the only culture we care about is our own, West culture. So globalization is making West culture more important than the minority cultures, and this lack of awareness is leading to the disappearance of small cultures to be much faster and much more common. Losing small cultures means we're losing diversity, which in turn we're losing different points of view, and this is obviously not positive for progression or for development. But the lack of education isn't the only problem we're facing. It's the change that it is suffering with programs such as the Liga, which focus solely on global history, therefore losing the stories of each country. differently in Germany than in Spain. Why? Because it has much more of an impact for them than for us. Therefore, if we study the exact same things everywhere, we will be inevitably losing knowledge and culture. Another important point inside this argument of education is that it's not getting everywhere. The opposing team tried to talk about how knowledge is getting everywhere and how there is a gap between developed and developing countries. However, there are still 4 billion people in the world who do not have access to internet and also do not have access to education. Thank you very much.
Lastly, they spoke about how there is a search for freedom in authoritarian countries, and they gave the example of civil rights movements. And yet we said these movements happened long before globalization. We don't see the correlation between democratization and globalization. And even if there were one, there is just democratization in a few countries. And for example, the most global city in the world, which is Singapore, is not a democracy. Now I'd like to come back to our own arguments. Our first argument is homogenization. We spoke about how we are losing important aspects of minority cultures. They are being westernized, and thus we are losing diversity, which is negative for progression, for culture, and for knowledge. They tried to rebut this by saying that there is more culture than just one. And we never said there was only one culture, but we are saying that there is one more dominant one, which is the Western culture. And this Western culture is westernizing the rest of minority cultures, getting rid of knowledge and culture. We also spoke about stereotypes and how we gain false information that is too simplistic about minorities, thus not really learning about them. How is it positive for our knowledge if we are learning fake knowledge? Lastly, we also spoke about how we control knowledge due to fake news, and that these have more of an impact than the truth. Why? Because while the truth uses scientific reasoning, fake news try to get to our emotions and our opinions. Thus, we believe them more than the truth. And lastly, we spoke about a lack of education and how there is a lack of awareness due to programs such as IB, where they globalize history and we lose information, and with this, knowledge and culture. Now, this may be a magic box, but not even this magic box can make all the problems caused by globalization disappear. Why? Because the only thing that exists in globalization are problems. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Max Gonzalez, and I will be concluding this debate. To begin with, I'll be talking about the other team's arguments and how we refuted them and explain why they're invalid. And next, I'll talk about our arguments, how they try to refute them and break them down, but they're still strong and valid. To begin with, they talked about culture and imperialism. They talked about how there are now fast food chains taking over, Western culture is dominant, and it's over all the others. And the first one to explain that this is actually not true. For example, just walking down the street in Madrid, you can clearly see restaurants like Thai restaurants, Chinese restaurants, etc. Plenty more examples were given. Also, our second refutator gave more examples and he actually came with evidence to explain why the argument was invalid. Also, they talk about information manipulation, and they talk about how the gap between developed and undeveloped countries grows. And our second refutator explained that there's actually no correlation between this, between globalization and how this gap grows, and it came with evidence explaining scientific research conducted within that. Now to our arguments. We came with, we talked about universal language, academic knowledge, and political knowledge. In universal language, we talked about how there's easy communication, and this is due, for example, language like English, which is universal. They said that English was just being dominant, causing documents to be lost. And that the Bible was also the most translated language. Our second commentator explained that the most important thing is actually that it be a language that is universal. Because at the end of the day, language is a means of telling or transmitting knowledge. So at the end of the day, it's easier to have one universal language so that knowledge can be spread more easily. Next, talk about academic knowledge. We talk about how people have more access to knowledge, and this is due to resources, and we gave examples like universities, schools, etc. They said that this causes inequality, and our second commentator showed evidence that explained there's no correlation between globalization and inequality. Now let's talk about fake news, and we clearly explained that academic information has a bigger impact than fake news, so it is invalid. And then our third argument was political knowledge, in which we talked about how people search for freedom and rights in countries which not long ago they weren't granted this freedom, and this is due to globalization and how it spreads this information and culture. They said that this has no correlation whatsoever with globalization. So, I just wanted to explain that authoritarian governments are able to see how their citizens are gaining this consciousness of the rights that we have to fight for. What you did was reinforce the fact that our government is valid since all these said there's no correlation. So, in conclusion, like I said, universal language, academic knowledge, and political knowledge. Those are three arguments that we base on and say with total certainty that globalization is actually good for the spread of cultural knowledge. Thank you very much.
Un aplauso más para los dos equipos.